I don't want to place.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. So we are all set to begin with today's webinar. A very warm welcome to all our participants present here today. The auspicious 9 days of Navratri have begun, and devotees are gearing up to celebrate the greatness of Ma, who is revered in 9 different forms for 9 days of Navratra or Navratri. Each day of worship is dedicated to one goddess. This day is devoted to white color. White symbolizes peace and serenity, signifying the absolute form of Mother Nature. Even in today's corporate world, igniting this living power within is the key to helping every leaders across the industry to transform themselves and attain union, harmony, and peace. HRAI welcomes you all to the 2022 Dialogue Masterclass series on the topic The Power of Shakti. To know more about HRAI and its events, I would request all our participants to visit the link and details posted in the chat window. Request all the participants to kindly follow the webinar guidelines mentioned in the chat window. It would be great to have all the participants' feedback. We will be running a poll before the Q&A session. Request all participants to kindly give your feedback on the session. I now take the privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, founder, CEO, TEDx speaker, and change evangelist, Right to Rise and Arcady Foundation. Ms. Raina Khatri Tandon is an international acclaimed speaker, mentor, who has been on various conferences and summits representing India on gender equality, women and child rights, and inclusiveness. She holds double degree in IT and law. She is founder CEO of Right to Rise, ISO certified private limited company into women's posh and child rights. POSCO training compliance and certification limitless enabler. WICCI President Training and Development Council Maharashtra. Core committee member of LLWI, 2 times TEDx speaker, gender equality and diversity leader. Best Top 20 Organizations in DNI Initiatives 2022 by Diversity and Jobs for Her. Ms. Raina has represented India at World Women's Summit 2020 and is also a global ambassador for Sustainable SDG by UN goals for gender equality, inclusiveness, and UN Chartered Human Rights. She is well known as a limitless enabler and global inclusion innovator with 23 years of experience to her credit. You can also follow her on LinkedIn. The link for the same has been shared in the chat window. Without wasting much time, I now hand over the platform to Dr. Raina. Over to you, Ms. Raina.
Thank you so much, Faisal. Good afternoon, HRAI and members. Welcome to the theme of Navratri. So I'm sure all of us are excited with the festivities coming back to our home, and each one of us actually celebrating it with a lot of culture-driven systems that we all follow at home. And it will be interesting to know that Navratri is not only bringing in the festival season, but also bringing in different colors. And we like colors, right? We don't want to be filled with only black and white. So I welcome all of you on HRAI platform. I, Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, will take you through the first day of Navratri, which is the day of purity and onset of bringing the Shakti. And that's why we welcome you to the Shakti series for this week, where we will have 5 different speakers. And yes, I'm the first one to support you with the theme of Navratri. We all know that Ma Durga or Shakti is actually the power or the epitome of all strength that we see in a lady and a woman that empowers the entire world and also looks at how leadership could be led. Today we're going to see not only what is the essence of the first day of Navratri with the color of white, but also how you could be that power person, how you could be that Shakti in your workplace, may it be corporate or may it be an entrepreneur platform. The first day is actually the day of Shailaputri, and I'm just going to be showing you that's the first day of Navratri. Shailaputri is a form or an incarnation that we all see, which is the power of Shakti, that is Parvati, and it always is being reinforced with two forms. You can see Mata Rani sitting on a bull, and she's holding on one side Trishul and the other side a lotus. So it's said that she is an epitome of both love, care, nurturing, and also with the purity of where she emerges from, it's also riding on the bull, showing the power, the strength, the emphasis that she has through the Trishul. And it only brings in two aspects very strongly. Is one, we ladies are an inspiration to every sector that we go and work at, whether it's personal or professional. And the first day of Navratri, Shailaputri is an epitome of increasing morale and taking action. So let's stop the screen sharing and discuss what can be more important to us. So yes, we are about 40 people here, and I'd like to ask you something. Today, we all celebrate Navratri, and we know that whenever we start the first day of Navratri, we are always talking about how Goddess has come into our lives, the colorful 9-day festivity. All that we know about Navratri is that we get dressed all those 9-10 days, and we remember that we celebrate Dashera at the end of that. That is 9th day Ashtami, and the 10th day is Dasmi, which is Dashera. So most of us have Vijay Dasmi or Dashera, and we remember that that is a great festivity that we go. But apart from the colorful 9 days of playing Dandiya, Garba, we also need to understand that this is not only a name that is derived from the mountain, which is Shail, and daughter of the mountains, which is Putri. So Shailaputri, and the name of the Durga Ma is Avatar Shailaputri, has come in from there for the day one. What it reinforces is that we keep all our worries away and prepare ourselves for the future. With the pandemic going away and the onset of moving from the hybrid to again a physical environment, I would really say that all our setups, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an MSME, we need to take charge of our leadership today. We need to go ahead and hit various different verticals of growth, not only for self, but also the organization that we are leading. And that can only happen with two things: bringing Vignaharta, that is Lord Ganesha, and prayers, and removing all the hurdles that we say today with Ma Durga's Shailaputri avatar. We are welcoming that in our life. So I'm sure we all want to shed this beautiful light on the first day of Navratri. A little astrological benefit that I want to bring in here is, it is believed that Goddess Shailaputri also controls the moon, planet moon. And by having some kind of Shakti that we perform in form of any prayers and rituals that we do at home, the bad effects that we have in our life is being moved away because of the purity of the puja that we do of the moon. It also helps to maintain good life, healthy life. The rituals brings in a lot of calm. It sets in a lot of resilience in our homes. Also the auspicious days, I'm sure we know the tithi and the time that we can perform today. There's also a myth, a story of Ma Shailaputri that I want to bring about, which says that she was being given the name of Devi Sati. And when she was not only the incarnation of Shiva, but also Vishnu and Brahma. And because of the yagna that we know, Daksha, there are a lot of stories that this festival brings. One of the stories that I can talk about today is that when we are talking about Navratri, Apart from celebration, we also should know that we celebrate because Ram, we have seen Ramayan and Ram Leela, and we know that one demon of Mahishasura was being killed, a victory of Mahishasura was being done. Ram came back from Vanvas, and that is why we also celebrate Dashera and many more. So yes, Navratri is a celebration that many people also fast. Why do they fast? Because they ask goddess for all the Shakti and the reincarnation of religious beliefs, and so that we can bring in that beautiful festival with us and remove all the demons, not only inside us, but also outside where we see. So if we look at the east, west, north, and south, each of us have different beliefs. In the legend on the north, we say the mighty demon worshipped Lord Shiva, and because he was being killed, Mahishasura was being killed, we had new festivities coming in. East India believes again that no longer we had any weak energies. We had a beautiful, virtuous daughter coming out from Shailaputri. She wished to marry Lord Shiva, and that is why we celebrate this festival. And so in the south, where we talk about Lord Rama when he came back after his Vanvas. So these are 3 or 4 instances. That's why we see the power of Shakti coming out. Now, one aspect that we say on the first day of Shailaputri is the significance, which we said. It talks about strength, purity. It talks about the aspect of increasing morale and taking action. So I'm going to be talking about increasing morale and taking action. In corporate world or in any of our setups, when we are, why do we not take action? Because there is something that is lacking. I'm sure you and me will first resonate that with every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. And this reaction can be a domino effect, which will help your organization grow. How do we inspire people to take action? What are those leadership traits that we need to talk about today? And who is a leader? Okay. I'm going to be showing you, I don't know if I have that video with me, but maybe we can see that video and that would help you understand a little bit of what I am saying. Okay, just share the screen for you. See if we can get in the video. Share screen. Okay. It's disappeared. Yeah, I think I can't play the video, but I'll tell you the essence of the video. So when we as leaders, let's try one more time. Okay. So it's not working. I think there's something wrong with the video, which is not playing. But as leaders, who is a leader? A leader is somebody who is empowering others to take action, right? And many a times we feel that leadership is only about pushing people. But I would always say when we subtly look at growing people, people create that impact. So pay attention on what kind of impact are you looking for. If we go back to Wright brothers, I think when Wright brothers were creating history, they did have competitors with them. They did have people around them who were building similar kind of equipment, but they never thought what was that they never thought on what the other person is doing. What they did was creating a vision with a purpose. Why we don't fail to take action is because we feel that when we are sharing certain analogies, we don't position it well. We don't have a clearly stated vision. Why are we doing it? And then what is that going to create an impact on a longer run? That is where our value systems are to be taken care of. So when today, on the onset of this festival, I would request all of you to just take a route map of what you wish to do in the next forthcoming years, because we have almost close to only about 100 days today. Okay, and 100 days are good enough for you to get some clarity on what could be your next path. Okay, you can talk about how trustworthy you are leading an organization and how you would go ahead and work towards the other people to exude positive energy. So we say positivity always drives action. And no matter how many times you fail, if you're going to take care of the positive action, then everybody would start at least feeling good, because that's where our, even when you look at the festivity, we have a lot of positivity among our own people. So Navratri is one festival where you can rebond with your people, rebond with your life. Think about how you can bring in the different incarnation of giving and taking, so that when the celebration is going around, you can also bring in the different value systems that you have inside out, both personally and professionally. Next, also the festival of lights and festival of dolls that we have coming in Navratri. You know what the lights do? They brighten you up. What does positivity do? It brightens you up. So Navratri is a festival of worship that not only is worshipped because of one Devi and one time in a year, but it's celebrated at least 4 times in a year. One is Vasant Navratri, the other is Gupta Navratri, Sharana Navratri, and Pausha Navratri. So these are different Navratri seasons that come throughout the year, and they are stories of why they are coming at different kinds of year, so that we are reincarnating the vision of Devi all the time as Shakti inside us. After the 9 nights, then it symbolizes that battle is over, demons are over, and that is why we have Vijayadashmi or Dashera, which leads us towards leading a new life. So there again, I bring back the concept of John C. Maxwell, which tells you one important thing: how do you grow and wish to be a leader? I'm going to be sharing another slide with you just in about 2 minutes, and let me know what you think about that slide. Okay. Okay, so when we look at this, these are some of the traits that inspiring leaders have. Okay, what are those traits? One, that you should be trustworthy. Why do you think people have to be trustworthy? Because when you grow business, or when you're drawing the spirit of Shakti in you, sometimes you are too over bright, and sometimes you don't know where to start. But when you are just yourself, and when you are trusted for the value that you create, then people always want to come back. And we say growth of any person happens only when you are totally trustworthy with whatever you say. That's walk the talk. So that's where first level of leadership sets in. Second, exude positive energy, which I already said. Third, leads with listening. So you should be somebody who's approachable, who's listening to what could be the pain areas, how you could help in when you are growing not only your team, but also outside your clients and vendors. And that is something I would say, again, a leader should have those traits. That's where the Shakti emerges. 4, self-awareness of how and others' awareness. So you should be also aware about what are your strengths and where are your weaknesses, and go ahead and bring in people who are more stronger to you in certain areas where you feel they can fit in the gaps. Because leadership is not always showing that you are the best and the others are not. It's also about bringing stronger individuals who can add value in your purposeful life and your organization and align in the same path. Recharge emotionally regularly, and that means all you people who are sitting here, who are getting value add, who are immensely learning, because only those who learn for life are leaders. And fourth, clearly stating vision, core values, and team norms. So I'm not going to be talking too much about vision and mission. Some of us sometimes feel very lost because we don't have to have sometimes a very long-term vision plan. Even if we have short-term goals and we are meeting those goals with some clarity, that would help us grow. And then finally, the important, the last trait, and that is centeredness. If you are centered, if you are somebody who's there, grounded, no matter how high you rise, you still are somebody who would probably work towards being mindful of what people are telling, being able to be calm if something works or doesn't work. And if you are stressed, we say this is the time where on the onset of the first day, white, that is purity, calm, resilience, and also increasing morale. You have to increase sometimes your own morale to actually increase your team and the growth of the people around you. So to keep yourself in the present, to back down and be centered and grounded, it's important to follow certain things like even being around plants, being around people, being able to detach away from work. And that's what actually these festivities do. It's not just about going and meeting people, it's also being grounded there and having yourself centered that you are still a person who is able to exude that kind of energies. So how are some people able to achieve certain things and some people are not? Three things that I can tell you as three golden keys that you need to note is there is something called a pattern. Whenever you're doing something, you need to see what works, what doesn't work. If something is working with you, you need to go back to it and keep reinforcing. And if something is not working, find out solutions of why that pattern is happening or how can you change it. So think, act, communicate in the same way that you feel, and exactly could be opposite to what people tell you sometimes because you know yourself better. Okay, so to achieve sometimes you have to break some assumptions that are made by said people because all their assumptions are only assumptions, and a leader knows what is he good at and what is he not probably good at. And it's exactly opposite to sometimes when people come and say, hey, do you really think you want to meet this target of say 1 crore in a month? And that's really not achievable. But you know how you can create strategies to probably meet it. So most importantly, work towards it and act according to those. Of course, there are goals. Of course, there are strategies that need to be met. What leaders do? On the top, if I ask you, you will always say communication. You will always say building people. With people, we build other people. With people, we bring in more experiences. With the experiences, we grow. So I always say that an organization grows with its people. It's not with the leader alone. Okay, so what customer experience you give, people come back to you time and again. It's not about the money. It's not about the policy. It's not about better systems. Sometimes it's only about an experience and what is that people look back to you. So people build people, and that's how organizations grow. Communication, be willful in everyday communication, conversations. Okay, be ready to go and do certain things for certain people out of your way, because that itself will build communication and your leadership traits of taking a challenge, proving yourself, and seeing that you can go beyond. Next, never sell the products that you sell, but services that you offer. You're not there to always be a salesperson. Yes, I always say sales is a part of life and sales is always going to be there, even if you're not somebody in business. But if you want to be a true Shakti, if you want to be somebody who's not wanting to stop dreaming and start living, then you have to only be talking about your services and how better are you when compared to others, which makes your products reachable, agreeable, and takeable. Okay. What's the USP? Of course, we know there has to be some value proposition and a great experience that you're giving out of that USP. So bring that out and you would know how your leadership uh, and your traits of leadership shines. It's a process, I'm sure. It doesn't happen overnight. And why you want to value your opinion, you want people to come back to you and keep evolving, learning, developing on your systems. And last, there are important RRR. What could that RR be? Let me give it to you at the end of the session. Okay, what RRR could be. Why people? Yes, I'll share this, probably this slide, because people are your asset, people are your resource, people are your support systems, people are whom you will be falling back on, people would be your strength, people would be your partner, your trust person, go to people. Only when people are around and you have built them, they will be somebody who will stand by you, not only when you are dropping, when there are other leaders, when there are competitors. These are your people who are going to build your systems and your policies and also help you market them. So people make business fun and competitive, and that is why we've surrounded with people, and that's how we become the true Shakti, where we can take action. Why we don't want to take action individually or as an organization is because we've not built a great support system to our people. And leaders are those who inspire people to take action and build that legacy. So if you have dreams and visions that you have to prove and you want to build in through that leadership trait, then this is what you should be doing on working with your leadership. And yes, coming back to the onset of Navratri that we are talking on, with Shailaputri today with a white symbolization that we spoke of, where we say taking action is important. It's also important that you realize that this white festivity that we are talking of today, Navratri, these are not, uh, these are very strong faith that we have developed because of Goddess Durga, where we say, she's also with the softer element, she's also with the power. The symbolization of that lotus and the Trishul, both have been worshipped because they are different forms of energy. The first phase is to gain energy through Durga Devi. Second phase is to earn money through Lakshmi Devi. And the third is through also through the third, to share knowledge, that is through Janki. And that is why all 9 days have different roop of Durga that we always talk about. Again, 8-step Golu festival, or you have Doll festival and Krishna Jayanti, and you have various, it's only to remove negativity and bring in the positivity. So ignorance, growth, spiritualism and salvation will only take you towards leadership, and that's form of life which we call dharma. Why I'm bringing you back to dharma is because when we are in today's life, we are so fast that we feel that going back to our religions, our culture, our traditions is somewhere not needed. But if we go back to our holistic books and our mythology, we will see that dharma indirectly is proportional to what we call leadership. So destroying demons is destroying your own inner demons also. Working towards growth and having this tendency of showing power is only leading yourself on the top. And leading yourself on the top can be only done when you have people all around you. And the 9 incarnations that we are going to see one day at a time on this platform will bring you that serenity, that peace, that taking action and increasing your morale gradually. So that was one thing that I wanted to bring you back on. And yes, there'll be a document also which talks about importance of sweets, importance of how different cultures relish and celebrate this festival. So shortly you will be getting that after the session. Apart from that, there was more importance that I wanted to share on a different aspect, which was the different powerful actions that people take. Why people take action is because their action is redefined with their purpose. So redefining your purpose with step by step of how and why are you going to that area expertise is only what you can do by connecting through stories, and stories are connected through emotions. So when you're a leader and you want to take certain actions, not only personally as a brand, but also as a corporate leader, many of our stories always collide and people connect through stories. Sometimes they don't need certain pay rises, pay hikes, promotions. Sometimes it is asking less but getting more. So you can probably connect people also through stories, talking specifically about problems and solving them. Leaders always allow and enable people to grow only when certain problems in their life are to be sorted, and that comes only with idea. An idea can solve any kind of problem, and that works to a deeper rooted level in every stage of life. So no matter you're a first level employer, or you're a manager, or you're a senior post person, or you're a CEO, if you are a person who solves any kind of problem in somebody's life with a particular idea that can come, whether you're doing a research or survey or even giving them the answer, that will give you justice to become the leader who's more approachable and seekable. So mention all your ideas and go ahead. If there is anything else that you would like to ask me as questions, please feel free. But this is what I wanted to share on the first day of Shailaputri, which is the white color that we will be embodying today on the onset of Navratri. Wish you and your family and the entire team at your end a very happy Navratri. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you, Ms. Raina. So before we move into the Q&A session, we will be initiating the poll. Request all participants to kindly share your feedback. While doing so, request all participants to kindly post their questions in the chat window. Once again, I thank all our participants for joining our session today. We have received a lot of inquiry about the e-certificate offered by HRAI. You can claim your certificate by sharing your details, name and session attended in an email to the email ID provided in the chat window. Please ensure you do this by end of this month. We will email the e-certificates to you based on the details received. So, Ms. Raina, there are some questions that we received from the registrations. I'll just
Yes, please.
What does it mean by a power of Shakti, and how is it relevant in the corporate setup?
Okay, so when we actually thought of this theme, we always talk about Shakti with women. Okay, and women are a 360 degrees encompassed goal, and I didn't want to really make it on a theme of women empowerment. So when we started talking about the power of Shakti we know is any incarnation, any supreme power that we can make action happen. Okay, and Shailaputri is actually the incarnation of power along with action. So with the inspiration that we can grow. But if we look into each one of us have our own Shaktis. So I don't know if you believe that or not. Even if you go up and ask a male person or a female person or any gender today, okay, everybody has an incarnation of Durga Ma inside them, where they are having a softer person and a harsh person. Why do you get anger? Why do you still have love? It's because we have two different shades in us. And we all have inspiration, morale, purity, action taking capability. It's just that we don't really go about it and do it. What I was trying to bring in through this series, where I proposed I wanted to talk, was with the onset of this first day, as we are celebrating the festival, we also bring in a purpose of wherever we go at our workplace. So you might be a company owner or you might be somebody at the corporate. How many a times do we really take action? Suppose for a small instance, we always say we want to be healthy, but we don't go ahead and take action of probably doing walks of even say 2,000 steps. I'm not even going to 10,000 steps. Okay. We don't even go out for 10-minute walk. We don't even go out for a healthy diet. Are we actually consciously seeing what we put in our stomach? Another important thing is every day we crib that okay, हमें ये position नहीं मिला, वो position नहीं मिला. Maybe we are capable of much more in terms of positions and growth, but maybe we are not approaching that. The only loss that we do is we don't even want to go and tell the other person, hey, I am capable, I want to go in for that position. If you're not going to say that, people don't really know, or they can't come out with a dream that you are wanting to grow even the ladder of at your corporate world. So it's very important to know, to say that I would like to do this, and it's equally important to also say no in areas where you don't want to take. So I'm doing a talk tomorrow at another platform which says the power of saying no. And power of saying no is equally important because not all opportunities that come to you are well deserving to you. And you maybe deserve much higher opportunities which you don't even go and approach and say, yes, I want to take it. So today, take that one action. If you really feel you're deserving, if you really feel you want to do something, if you really feel you want to go and make that action, get up and tell that person of yours who's right in front of you, yes, I'd like to try for this position and I really feel that I'm well deserving. Whether it is even making a small request to your own son or daughter saying that, hey, I want to do your self-study on your own and not be cribbing about only being on devices. Even that is a sales strategy that we do every day as a parent. So take one action today. And I think I'll be happy that at least the session today that you attended helped you in taking that one action, which will in turn increase the morale in you, your self-esteem, your confidence, and make you the most purest soul, because that's where you're connecting with yourself.
Thank you, Ms. Rana. Very beautifully answered. There is one question which says that as per the Indian mythology, Shakti refers to the goddess of great power. What does the term represent in the context of woman and its role in society and its well-being? So I suppose you've already spoken about it. But...
Yeah, but I'll just say one line there. I think power is very misinterpreted in our society. It's not always showing your muscles, or not always showing your physical strength, or not always showing that you're an aggressive and a power pack person, or maybe screaming and shouting like a on the YouTube doesn't mean that you are powerful. Okay, power can be very subtly and very crisply conveyed. And if you look at some of the best leaders across different sectors, I'm not going to say either in politics or in corporate or in IT or in NGOs or any other field, or even an evangelist or an ambassador, the most powerful leaders are those who know how to put their point very subtly, very calmly, and in the most humblest tone. So Shakti should be taken in the right way. It's always about knowledge. It's always about what you say and how you say. That makes you the power of Shakti. So, and it has no connection with just being in women. Yes, we always equate it. Shakti matlab power, power matlab lady, lady matlab woman empowerment. But here I would like to also say that Shakti also lies within both men and women. So thank you.
Thank you. So I believe we do not have any more questions. So thank you, Ms. Raina, for an insightful and intriguing session. It has been a pleasure being with you today. I'm sure our participants had a lot to learn and take away from this session. Before we conclude with today's session, we would also want to thank our event partners, Geisha, NASCOM COE, LinkedIn Local, Talgrow, TLE, and WICCI for supporting these HRAI events. To know more about these associations, request you to kindly visit the links provided in the chat window. Thank you once again, dear speaker and our participants, for joining us today. Do join us for our next masterclass by Miss Hina Dameja, Head Business Partner Human Resources, Hero Housing Finance, or tomorrow on 27th of September 2022. That's it from our today's webinar. See you soon. Stay safe. Take care and bye for now. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Raina.
Thank you so much, Faisal. Thank you, HRAI and the entire team. Thank you.